Hi everyone. So today we are going to see the verses from text 2 to text 11. The reason why we are seeing multiple verses today is because most of these verses are quite brief and their purport is quite small. So we will first read the text of the verse in Sanskrit followed by their translations. Once we are done with the text and translation of each text, we will read the purport of all the verses at the end. So let's start with text number 2. Sanjaya Uvach Drishtva tu Pandava Nikam Vyudham Duryodhanastada Acharyam Upasangamaya Rajavachanam Abravit. Translation. Sanjaya said, O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhan went to his teacher and spoke the following words. Text number 3. Pashyatam Pandu Putranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Sisyena Dhimata. Translation. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupad. Text number 4. Atra Sura Mahesvasha Bhimarjuna Samayudhi Yuyudhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha. Translation. Here in this army are many heroic bowmen equal in fight to Bhim and Arjun, great fighters like Yudhishthira, Virat and Drupad. Text number 5. Drishtaketus Chekitana Kasirajascha Virayavan Purojit Kunti Bhojascha Saibayascha Narapungava. Translation. There are also great heroic powerful fighters like Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashiraja, Purojit, Kunti Bhoja and Chabaya. Text number 6. Yudhamanyus cha Vikranta Utamajas cha Virayavan Saubhadra Draupadas cha Sarva Eva Maharatha. Translation. There are the mighty Yudhamanyu, the very powerful Uttamaja, the son of Subhadra and the sons of Draupadi. All these warriors are great chariot fighters. Text number 7. Asmakam tu visishtaye Tana Nibodha Dvijuttama Nayaka Mama Sainayasya Samarthanam Tana Bravimite. Translation. But for your information, O best of the Brahmanas, let me tell you about the captains who are specially qualified to lead my military force. Text number 8. Bhavan Bhismascha Karnascha Kripascha Samirtigya Ashwathama Vikarnascha Somadattis Tathaivacha. Translation. There are personalities like you, Bhima, Karya, Kap, Ashwathama, Vikarna and the son of Somadatta called Bhurichrava who are always victorious in battle. Text number 9. Anye cha bhava Sura Mad Arthe Tyaktva Jivita Nana Shastra Praharna Sarva Yuddha Visharadha. Translation. There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons and all are experienced in military science. Text number 10. Aparyaptam tad asmakam balam bhishma bhirakshitam paryaptam tva idam itesham balam bhima bhirakshitam. Translation. Our strength is immeasurable and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas carefully protected by Bhima is limited. Text number 11. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagam avasthita bhishman eva bhirakas santu bhavanta sarva eva hi. Translation. All of you must now give full support to grandfather Bhishma as you stand at your respective strategic points of entrance into the phalanx of the army. Now we'll see the purport of all these texts 2 to 11. Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. He knew very well that his sons were equally blind in the matter of religion, and he was sure that they could never reach an understanding with the Pandavas, who were all pious since birth. Still, he was so doubtful about the influence of the place of pilgrimage, and Sanjaya could understand his motive in asking about the situation on the battlefield. He wanted, therefore, to encourage the despondent king, and thus he warned him that his sons were not going to make any sort of compromise under the influence of the holy place. Sanjaya therefore informed the king that his son Duryodhan, after seeing the military force of the Pandavas, at once went to the commander-in-chief Dronacharya to inform him of the real position. Although Duryodhana is mentioned as the king, He still had to go to the commander on account of the seriousness of the situation. He was therefore quite fit to be a politician. But Duryodhana's diplomatic veneer could not disguise the fear he felt when he saw the military arrangement of the Pandavas. Duryodhan, a great diplomat, wanted to point out the defects of Dronacharya, the great Brahmana commander-in-chief. Dronacharya had some political quarrel with King Drupad, the father of Draupadi, who was Arjuna's wife. As a result of this quarrel, Drupad performed a great sacrifice by which he received the benediction of having a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Dronacharya knew this perfectly well, and yet, as a liberal Brahmana, he did not hesitate to impart all these military secrets when the son of Drupad, Drishtadyumna, was entrusted to him for military education. Now, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Drishtadyumna took the side of Pandavas, and it was he who arranged for their military phalanx. After having learned the art from Dronacharya, Duryodhana pointed out this mistake of Dronacharya so that he might be alert and uncompromising in the fighting. By this, he wanted to point out also that he should not be similarly lenient in the battle against the Pandavas, who were also Dronacharya's affectionate students. Arjuna especially was his most affectionate and brilliant student. Duryodhana also wanted that such leniency in the fight would lead to their defeat. Even though Drishtadyumna was not a very important obstacle in the face of Dronacharya's very great power in the military art, there were many others who were the cause of fear. They are mentioned by Duryodhana as great stumbling blocks on the path of victory, because each and every one of them was formidable as Bhima and Arjuna. He knew the strength of Bhima and Arjuna, and thus he compared the others with them. Duryodhana mentioned the exceptional heroes in the battle, all of whom are ever victorious. Vikarna is the brother of Duryodhana, Ashwathama is the son of Dronacharya, and Somadatti or Bhurisrava is the son of the king of Bahalikas. Karna is the half-brother of Arjuna, as he was born of Kunti before her marriage with King Pandu. Kripacharya married the twin sister of Dronacharya. As far as the others are concerned, like Jayadratha, Kritavarma, Salya, etc., all are determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhana's sake. In other words, it is already concluded that all of them would die in the battle of Kurukshetra for joining the party of this sinful Duryodhana. Herein, an estimation of comparative strength is made by Duryodhana. He thinks that the strength of his armed forces is immeasurable, being specifically protected by the most experienced general, grandfather Bhishma. On the other hand, the forces of the Pandavas are limited, being protected by a less experienced general, Bhima, who is like a fig in the presence of Bhishma. Duryodhana was always envious of Bhima because he knew perfectly well that if he should die at all, he would only be killed by Bhima. But at the same time, he was confident of his victory on account of the presence of Bhishma, who was a far superior general. His conclusion that he would come out of the battle victorious was well ascertained. Duryodhana, after praising the prowess of Bhishma, further considered that others might think that they had been considered less important. So in his usual diplomatic way, he tried to adjust the situation in the above words. He emphasized that Bhishma Dev was undoubtedly the greatest hero, but he was an old man, so everyone must specially think of his protection from all sides. He might become engaged in the fight, and the enemy might take advantage of his full engagement on one side. Therefore, it was important that other heroes would not leave their strategic positions and allow the enemy to break the phalanx. Duryodhana clearly felt that the victory of the Kurus depended on the presence of Bhishma Dev. He was confident of all the full support of Bhishma Dev and Dronacharya in the battle, because he well knew that they did not even speak a word when Arjuna's wife Draupadi, in her helpless condition, had appealed to them for justice while she was being forced to strip naked in the presence of all the great generals in the assembly. Although he knew that the two generals had some sort of affection for the Pandavas, he hoped that all such affection would now be completely given up by them, as was customary during the gambling performances. So that was all about the purport of texts from 2 to text 11. As we all saw, a lot of anxiety among the leaders of Kuru and its army. Can you relate a similar scenario like this from your own lives? A scenario where you were faced with a challenge against the other party or person standing against you. How do you deal in such situations? Do you compromise on your moral principles to win your battle, or do you stick to what you feel is right and just do what you're supposed to do without worrying about how powerful or how intelligent your contender is. Give us an interesting story to tell in the comment section below and let the world know how you have prepared for your own battles. Also, do like and share this video to your family members and friends. And if you like me reading this eternal knowledge to you daily, do subscribe to the channel to get regular notifications. So see you next time with the next verse. Thank you.